Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Rule the Waves 3 as Japan. So, we are simultaneously invading Djibouti and New Caledonia. New Caledonia probably shouldn't take very long to take, but Djibouti is going to be a bit annoying because for some reason the French don't seem to be taking as many penalties for being over their base capacity. I can guarantee you they're over their base capacity, considering that they're sitting here with 5 CAs, 7 CLs, 6 CVs, 3 CVLs, 33 destroyers, and they only have a base capacity of 50. And we are basically at our base capacity. We have been over it before, but we lost several ships in the battle at the end of the last part, mostly CLs, so we are down to just under it, and we have 2 dreadnoughts, 1 CL, 1 CV, and 14 destroyers, as well as several corvettes and submarines, but submarines don't seem to actually contribute to base capacity, which is nice, I guess. Or it might depend upon the type of submarine. I actually don't know the full differences between all of them. But nonetheless, so, we are... I don't know what the hell's going on here. But yeah, so this isn't quite doing nearly... I don't know why France does not seem to be suffering quite as many penalties as they probably should be. Especially because the only place that they could flee to if they wanted to try to, like, game the system to reset the clock would be the Mediterranean. Which, I mean, they could do. There's literally nothing stopping them from doing that if they felt so inclined, but nonetheless. But let's go ahead and continue. Okay, we're not going to probably bother fighting this one because it's an estimated dreadnought. And I don't care to try to fight a dreadnought with a fucking CL. I'm sorry, game, that's a stupid plan. There's nothing you can do to convince me otherwise. Nope, there's literally no reason to launch the catapults because we're just running. We're not going to fight. Fuck that. Only accepted the battle because you forced me to accept the battle. I have zero interest in actually fighting it. And somehow France wins this, just because they have their 2 surviving merchants. And evidently they did not, in fact, actually have their dreadnought. But they do have their CLs. I'm sorry, it has... oh. You centerline mounted your... okay. Whatever, I guess. Helicopter search and rescue, always helpful. There we go, get the helipads. There we go, we took New Caledonia. The US lost 2 destroyers and a CV in exchange for a French destroyer. That's not a great trade, guys. It's not a particularly great trade. I hope you know that. And yeah, we can't quite reach Polynesia. Now, annoyingly, the game has decided that they're going to actually sail into Southeast Asia, finally. Of course, after I bring my ships home. Because why would they do it any other time? So we need to go ahead and move more stuff down there now. Well, actually, move stuff down there now, rather. Coastal fortifications. I swear there was an airbase here. Was it destroyed when we took it? It must have been destroyed when we took it, which is okay. Game, sure. I'm gonna put our subs onto fleet support. Thank you for more money. It's probably still not enough. Nope, sorry. Sorry, Army, I cannot give you my budget because we are losing it and we are about to go into debt. That frees up a few more turns, but still not quite. Send you down to the South Pacific to back up the rest of it. Cruiser action, fine. Okay, and we basically will have none of our destroyers. Great. Always fun. Okay, and we have already found the enemies. Let's get a auto strike ready. There we go. I think I'm missing something. Select ready, launch. Nope, don't bother coordinating it, just go. Supposedly they have a Corvette in here for whatever reason. I don't quite know why. 2 Corvettes, actually. Those are probably not Corvettes. I mean, they could be, but I don't really think they are. Mostly looking for the dive bombers. In fact, realistically, we probably should just get rid of the torpedo bombers altogether because the dive bombers are the ones with the fancy schmancy missiles. And this battle will be our revenge for that last battle that we actually fought. The convoy raid. You are shooting at the wrong target, buddy. You should be going for the destroyers. You know, the things you actually are designed to kill. Go, that guy's dead in the water. Takao takes a torpedo because these fuckers have torpedoes on them. Let's prepare another strike. Okay, I think we're going to break the Takao off for a bit just so we can get rid of this flooding, which hopefully won't take too long. Go, you guys are ready. We're gonna launch over here-ish. Select already, launch. Nope, nope, no coordination needed. And you're gonna turn way north. Provide as small of a target as possible for the inevitable torpedoes that thing tries to launch as a last-ditch effort to kill you. Okay, there they are. Mostly looking for those dive bombers to get some missile hits in. Although evidently it looks like they may not be using missiles, so it's gonna be hard to get missile hits in when you're not using missiles, I suppose. But they did manage to land a few dive bomb hits. For what that's worth. Cow limits flooding. It still has a little bit left to go, though. Hope you completely passed them. Oh, this has no torpedoes. That is an interesting design choice, France. A CL without torpedoes. And you can do it. I don't think it's a great design, in my opinion. But that may just be my opinion. Okay, that is dead in the water back there, so you're gonna go ahead and head up here. Try to link up with the Azuma. That is trying its damnedest to kill these CLs, but it's a bit hard to kill them, especially when you can't actually see them. And to be able to see them, you gotta get too close. So you get to deal with a minus 30 penalty. Or, well, a penalty of 30 to hit chance. Because it's radar only. So, hope you weren't planning to see your target, and in exchange for just barely getting close enough, the Azuma takes the torpedo. But luckily, our damage control training is in effect. And so you're already ready to go again. We continue trying to land hits, but it's a bit hard. Auto strike. You guys are going to be the ones, I think, to do the missiles this time. Go, get a bit of a pincer going here. Try to finish them off. Yeah, we won't launch the dive bombers, I guess. They can stay ready, though, in case this fight goes long enough for daybreak to happen again, which I don't think is going to be the case. But it's always a possibility. Oh, that's way too much stuff. We're just gonna go ahead and leave now, thank you. Air reinforcements have arrived, and I don't plan to be here. Well, more accurately, I do not wish to be here. Thank you to our strike aircraft to dissuade them from following. And then we try to sneak out towards the west, or the east, rather, in the dead of the night. go. Rescued an air crew. Okay, so they did have a CVL evidently. Um, somewhere. I don't know where. Oh, was it up? Is this it? That's it up there. Okay. Yeah, there was no reason for me to go in that direction, honestly, so I never would have encountered it. Uh, do not let them get off lightly. I want to take Djibouti. I really want to take Djibouti. I would love it if um our dreadnought that's there would do. There we go. I'm like, I would love it if our dreadnought would be able to, do something. But here we go. This is going to be a big, big battle. Well, relatively speaking, at least. Attack enemy ships near the objective. So our objective is the usual. For convoy raid, just sink a handful of transports. But they have several CV. Oh, game, you didn't tell me the Americans came to support us in this battle? Because usually you give me the pop-up. I'm so used to give me the pop-up, but I guess with the new system you don't. So I didn't realize that the Americans are here. They have given us the Massachusetts, a Florida class, which, okay, sure. Let's call it the Florida class and then name it Massachusetts. Massachusetts. Okay, sure, game. Whatever floats your boat. Whatever floats your boat. You have quality 1 16-inch guns. I am still running around with quality 0. That annoys me. America, please sell me your 16-inch guns. Give it to me. I want your 16-inch guns. Yeah, could you not radar lock me? Thank you. That'd be great. I think we'll hold off on preparing a strike team. Okay, we dodged one. We're gonna break off. Try to deal with the flooding and the fire. Do you have missiles? You don't. Do any of our things have... Okay, you have missiles. Great. Except you're kind of busy trying to avoid any further missiles right now, so... Your destroyers have missiles? Your destroyers have missiles. Okay, then. Just launch all the shit. Land 0 hits. Yeah, you know what? I think we're just gonna say screw it. No search right now. Focus on cap and whatnot. Ready to strike. I don't think anything that I really want to kill is going to be here, but for now, this is where I'll tell you to go. Oh, our destroyer escort also had some missiles. I didn't realize that. Okay, we're claiming there's a... Don't think that's true at all. I'm pretty sure those are... Oh, game. Please, 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 please be relatively close. CVs. Select ready, launch. Nope, don't coordinate, just go. Please be close to where I told you to go to. I'm inclined to say let's actually try to, I think, have our dreadnought. We'll let the Americans deal with, you know, the actual objective. They seem to be doing a good enough job without our help, so... Although, admittedly, the Massachusetts ain't having a fun time with all these torpedoes. Okay, the Massachusetts is also doing a good job at limiting flooding, so we can get back into the fight without really all that significant of a delay. Fortunately, our dreadnought ain't doing too hot at the whole limiting flooding thing. Which is pretty annoying, because I kind of needed to do better. Okay, objective completed. Now we just focus on trying to sink as many French ships as we can. And I hope that our aircraft manage to find their CVs, maybe stuck up here, and launch missiles and torpedoes. That would be great. I would absolutely love it if that were the case. It means it won't be. It also doesn't help that our CV is, well, this is with our props, so they don't, I mean, they got a fair bit of range, but still not quite as good as it could be. Why are you so bad at damage control? Oh, no, that's our guys coming back and, figuring, well, we might as well drop the ordnance anyway. We don't get paid extra for bringing it back. Why are you so bad at damage control? Jesus. Like, you have been flooding for so fucking long and you're not dealing with it. You dealt with it once. And that was shortly after you restored electric power, and then you've not touched your flooding since then. Well, let's try to get away from the coast so we can have a bit more range for scouting stuff up here. Well, not necessarily scouting, but, well, I probably should, actually do scouting again. So let's scout out to about there, medium cap, two-phase search, night search, go. Yeah, and they wouldn't be at 50% flotation damage if they would just deal with the damn flooding. But for some reason, it's as if they forgot that they were flooding after they dealt with the fire. Because they haven't touched it since they got rid of the fire. The only time they touched it before that was, as I mentioned, shortly after they dealt with restoring electric power. I legitimately do not know what the deal is with this ship, where they're just not dealing with the... Like, why? What the hell is going on here? Is your damage control that bad that you don't realize that you should be doing damage control? Because that's pretty bad if that's the case. I'm slightly inclined to potentially do a save and exit and then reload and see if maybe it's just a glitch. Because I'd rather not lose you because of just stupidity. In fact, you know what? I am going to do that. One moment. Okay, and we are back. And, hopefully that will cause you to suddenly realize, oh shit, I should probably deal with the flooding. Also, apparently, it's... What the fuck was that, game? That was not there when we loaded the or when we saved, but all of a sudden their CV is right on top of us. So, okay. The French just got bullshitted. I'm gonna go ahead and just be frank about that. The French are gonna lose a CV because the game decided to plop it right on top of me when I reloaded the save. And it finally realized how to deal with flooding as well, which is, great that you're finally dealing with that as well. Well, you were, and then now you've stopped. Could could you start dealing with the flooding again? I'd really appreciate it if you could deal with the flooding again now. Because we've still got quite a ways to go until the battle is over. I call bullshit, game. I straight up call bullshit that I lose a dreadnought just because you decide you don't know how to deal with fucking flooding. That is bullshit. Okay, Britain is about to join the war now. That is such bullshit that we lose that ship. It really is. I am not at all happy that we lose that ship just because the game decides I don't know how to deal with flooding. Let's cut back on our research so we're not losing money anymore, because that's literally the only thing left that we can cut back on. No, I do not have any interest in fighting that, especially when I don't have any intel. We're going to auto-resolve that because we're going to lose it anyway. It's a Corvette. Trying to deal with a Raider, it had absolutely zero chance of success. And it wasn't even going to be able to outrun it. Italy's getting upset with France, which is nice. But Spain doesn't seem to be all that interested in getting in on the action here. Now, having taken New Caledonia does open up an invasion of Samoa, which would, I believe, allow us to invade Polynesia. This is completely different intel than you gave me before game. You were claiming a CVL, but now you claim it's 2 destroyers. It's one or the other, it's not both. Those are completely different designs. That it's pretty hard to mistake one for the other. And there they are. They're presumably faster than us. That is more than what you said as well, game. We're going to stay as far out of their reach as possible, whatever these are. But it's looking like probably 3 destroyers. Sorry, did you say 13? 16-inch guns. Okay. I don't know how you get 13 when they're all 4-gun turrets, but okay. The math doesn't work to be able to launch 13 shells out of 4 turrets that have 4 guns each for a total of 16 guns. Considering that this game does not allow you, as far as I've ever experienced previously, the ability to fire basically the barrels individually. So that is just, I don't know. I really, really don't. Okay, well, we're not getting that guy. He managed to make it to port. I'm not gonna chase him into the minefield. We sunk 2 of whatever they were, and we are leaving. And they were, in fact, destroyers. We sunk the 2 that the game claimed they had. They had an extra. And we could have sunk it if we had a bit more time before it made it to port. But that wasn't happening. And apparently we are now blockading France, but that won't be for very long because Britain is going to be joining in just a moment. Coastal raid. Fine. Attack enemy ships in general, not that we're going to be doing any. We have the Awami. We'll hopefully get revenge for her sister ship. And we have a CL. Fire at will. You're going to go for the objective. You're going to go for the ships. Or not, because that might be their supposed dreadnought. But it could also just be a merchant. We still haven't identified it, whatever it is. Could also be a corvette. It's a destroyer. But there's their corvette. Why are you wasting your 16-inch shells on that? Go for the land target if you're going to fire your main guns at anything. Secondaries can be fired at that corvette, no problem. Okay, objective completed. Wonderful. And now we go back to hunting for their ships. And that's my timer going off. I knew it was about to go off, but I figured we'd hope maybe get a short battle, but this is not going to be a short battle, so we may cut this short and pick it up next part, or we will finish it off. We'll see. We still have yet to find that supposed sea or dreadnought rather that they have. That is a destroyer, probably. Yep, that is in fact a destroyer. And you're not going to shoot it at all. Never mind, spoke too soon. I would love for you... Thing is, I'll lose radar contact on you if I do this. Don't you have radar? Oh, your radar is disabled. Well, get it back up. Oh, well, okay, you go there. Try to find it. I would love for you to fire at the airfield. Okay, I want you to just go ahead and be a screen. Because you're not going to be able to catch that thing. Yeah, how about you get out of here? It's a pretty small airfield. Probably only has those light jet fighters. It's apparently an Airbase 40, but we're claiming that there's only 20 aircraft there. Now, how we're able to in any way accurately estimate the amount of aircraft on an airbase that's inland, realistically a fairly decent amount. While this far out at sea, I do not know. It's not like our technology is that good. Oh no, you actually do have some medium bombers. That is actually somewhat surprising. Okay, maybe we don't do this. Go down to cruising speed. Same with you at this point. You're safe enough. One of our issues is going to be Britain is supposed to be joining in relatively soon. They may join in this turn once we get back to, being able to manage stuff. Or not. They may or may not. We will find out in just a few moments. Yep, there we go. Britain honors their alliance and joins France in war against Japan. Luckily, they give us some more money as a result of this as well. I have upgrades that I really, really want to do for fire control. We just haven't had the ability. Ah, suck on those. Suck on them apples, Britain. As soon as you join the war, your ship hits a mine. The Americans had an absolute shitty showing there. Okay, now that we have a bit more money, we can attempt to bring in some more of the fleet. And we probably don't want to bother trying to put any investments into invasions, at least not in Southeast Asia and the Indian Ocean. We can probably get away with it if we do something over here in the South Pacific. It's a question of what do we invade, though. I'm inclined to go with Samoa because I would love to then try to maybe take Polynesia real quick as well. Just get rid of France down here. Then we can focus our attention on the British holdings. So double back and get Fiji and the Solomon Islands, and then Papua. And then we'll have more ships in Southeast Asia, and maybe we can then attempt an invasion of Singapore and Malaya. Maybe. And probably only after that will we attempt to take the British holdings in the Indian Ocean. Biggest thing I need, really, well, not need, but would love, would be for Spain to join us in this war. Spain's not a great ally, but I would love to have them in here just because, hey, they're helpful. But that's going to be a bit because they're going to need to honor their alliance with the US and join in. So that'll be a bit. It does look like tensions are going up, though, with Britain and Germany, so maybe Germany can join in, and we can just get an alliance with Germany instead, who I've been wanting an alliance with, and I think we had one at one point, but it was fairly short-lived, and I don't think it ever really contributed anything significant because of who we were fighting at the time. But it would be an absolutely wonderful thing to get our hands on right now. That would significantly dissuade the British from getting involved, and I see why we were blockading France for a moment there. The US has brought a sizable fleet to Northern Europe, is the reason for that. But yeah, so you know what? I think we can just probably barely eke this out. After a couple of fights. Well, so that's the thing, is it's probably after a couple of fights. I don't think we can do it right now, actually. I don't think we have the enough superiority in the South Pacific to actually invade Samoa, considering the combined British and French fleets down here, which aren't significant by any means. Literally, the biggest threat that they have is just the fact that they've got a bunch of CVs. But if I could actually get into a fight with the CVs, like a gunfight, nah, they'd lose. They would lose handedly. But the issue would be getting into that position. I wouldn't mind. I mean, the US has a sizable fleet just like sitting in Pearl Harbor right now. They could send a portion of it down here to the South Pacific to help us, or into Southeast Asia to help us. I don't really need this large of. Well, I mean, now that Britain joined in, I do appreciate having this massive American fleet in the Indian Ocean, but I didn't need it until Britain joined. Although admittedly it didn't really have anywhere else it could have gone that would have been helpful either, so, you know, I guess it was always just kind of stuck here. I'm hopeful these tensions with Britain and France continue to get worse. Or excuse me, Britain and Germany continue to get worse, and that they go to war with one another. I need this. I need them to go to war with each other, because otherwise this war is likely to be a slog. Again, I wouldn't mind Spain joining in, but if Spain's going to join, I'd rather they join after Germany does, or after Germany goes to war with Britain, because I'd rather get an actual alliance with Germany. While if Spain joins first, I'd basically get an alliance with them. And I don't even think you can decline that. The game basically just says, hey, it looks like you're fighting you know, the same enemy. Clearly, we should be allies. And yeah, like I said, I don't think the game gives you an option to decline that. You basically are forced to accept it. So I'd much rather Germany go to war with Britain first rather than Spain honor their alliance with the Americans. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I'm pretty sure Britain is way over their cap here in Southeast Asia, so hopefully they back off after a little while, especially with the Americans having a fleet up here in Northern Europe, which I'm not sure where they're getting any potential basing capacity. And the Americans have a sizable fleet here. They really should. I'm just gonna say it. The Americans really should be trying to invade the British holdings in North American East Coast, so they don't got to worry about them. I'd prioritize those over anything in the Caribbean personally, but that's just me. Because this kicks them out of your build zone. That's the main thing here. This is your build area. I'd rather them not be in my build area personally. Also, yeah, so yeah, you get half the base capacity of your allies. So for us, that means nothing because none of our allies are in a position to give us any base capacity that matters outside of an alliance with Germany. Germany would give us 800 up here in Northern Europe. Not that I have the ships to spare to go up there, but nonetheless. Actually, Spain wouldn't be bad for that either, but the reality is Spain doesn't have a navy that's really worth speaking. I mean, I know I said like literally last part that Spain had a decent navy. It's a decent navy for their budget. I don't think it's actually a good navy itself, personally. They've got a total fleet tonnage that's actually not too far behind us at a budget that's like a third of ours, roughly. Not quite, but close enough. So, it's a decent sized navy for their budget. It's just, I don't think it's a great navy. I really don't. But I'll see you all next time where we will be now fighting Britain. We'll see how that goes. My expectations are admittedly not super high. But until then, goodbye and farewell.